Happy Saturday. Time to get this. I just finished legs, and I am on the treadmill, about to get this thing started. Uh, let's see here. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today is when is the last time you felt proud about yourself? Right, something you did, some type of accomplishment you made. When's the last time you felt proud about yourself? You know, we're in this time right now where, well, people are just not happy with themselves, you know? Not happy with themselves, not happy with the world, not happy with how things are going. And it gets a little crazy. It gets a little crazy because we haven't have the habit of beating each other up. And more than anything else, we have the habit of beating ourselves up. And that's probably the worst thing in the world, man, you know? Because I'm gonna tell you what, when it comes to me, nobody hits harder than how I hit myself. And that's rough, right? And that's rough. I beat myself up for things that I should have done, you know, procrastinating. I beat myself up. Gaining weight, always beat myself up on that. And I don't reward myself enough, right? And so my question for you guys today is, how often do you feel proud about the things that you have done, right? How often you feel proud of yourself? Like, man, I made an accomplishment today. I really got it done today. I really made it happen today. Yeah. I would usually be walking outside right now. I am walking on a treadmill because it's raining, and I guess I'm getting soft in my old age. But but anyway, I got a lot of stuff to do around the house, so I didn't want to get too far away from the house. So, but that's it, man. I'm out here. I'm on the treadmill. I am walking. I'm not running. I am going to start building back up to running, because what I did notice on the treadmill is when I run, I lose weight rapidly, right? Rapidly, I lose weight. You know, I may lose some muscle along the way, I guess, but when I run, I lose weight significantly, especially in this area right here, what I'm trying to get rid of before Spain. Yeah, man. So I've been writing, doing a lot of writing these days. I am putting together a trilogy, literally creating a character and putting together a trilogy of books. You know, it's based on my main book of the Catholic suicides, and I'm a build upon it. And when it's all the 15 books are put together, it will be, the trilogy will be the Catholic Suicides trilogy. And each book will have individual names, and I'll start putting them out pretty soon, month by month, until I get the whole set, or maybe every couple of months. So by the time you get the whole trilogy, it'll probably be about 2 years in from the first one. And they're only short books, very short read books, you know, 100 pages, 150 pages at the most. And the whole premise is it is a murder mystery. Yeah, get excited about that. So, and that is what I'm doing here. I'm putting together a lot of things on my plate as far as that's concerned. I'm also jumping into the little bit of the coach, counselor type thing when it comes to mental health. You know, that is something that my son actually has a huge forte, and he went to school for it. But me, I just have a good feeling about people, you know. So I'm not gonna come at you with the master's degrees and everything else. I'm just gonna come at you with life experience, man. 28 years of law enforcement, and just watching people go down those bad paths. And when you watch people go down those bad paths, man, the first thing you think about is, oh my God, if they would have took this turn, if they would have took that turn, if they would have took this advice or that advice. And you can't really live like that, as far as advice is concerned. But one thing you can do and understand is you got to be teachable. You got to be teachable, man. If you are not teachable, you are going to have a very hard way to go in life. You know, it drives me crazy when I run across people that goes, I already knew that. You try to tell them something, and over again they tell you, I already knew that, I already knew that, and when they say they already knew that, it kind of takes the your willingness to teach them out of the equation, right? You're like, okay, if you already knew it, then no need for me to show you anything. I guess I can't teach you anything. You got to learn to be teachable. And I don't care how old you are, I don't care how much education you have, I don't care how many degrees you have, or what an expert in the field that you are. It doesn't matter, right? You have to be teachable, right? And I think that some of the greatest leaders are teachable, right? Some of the greatest leaders are teachable. When you are a leader who can take advice and learn and grow from it, you become a great leader, right? Because now you're not just blending your years of experience in education, right? You're not just blending that. What you're now blending is the knowledge and education of other people. Because you pull it in, man. You pull it in, you're teachable, and you learn and you grow. So I think that is powerful. I think we need a whole lot more of that in this world. Being open to being teachable. What do you guys think? All right? What do you guys think? I'm usually on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but I think that I truly appreciate doing my YouTube lives a whole lot more often, and I think I'm gonna pick up the pace on doing my YouTube lives once again. I really was pushing it when I came out with my first book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. That was many years ago. That was 2020, 2021, something like that. When I came out with my book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. Just last year, I published it in Spanish. So I think that was pretty cool that I did that. And now this year, with my murder mystery novels that I'm writing, one down, 14 to go. So one down, 14 to go, and little short stories. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. So I get a kick out of having fun, telling stories. And I tell people all the time, do things that you could leave behind, so that when you're not around, right? So that when you're not around, people could say, hey, listen, I remember when he did this, and it's something I can still enjoy to this day. And, especially if you have children, right? If you have children, take a lot of pictures, right? If you have children, take a lot of pictures. Leave a lot of things, I call it Scooby-Dooing it, Leave a lot of things that your children can see and discover and find out, right? So if you do that, I think that you'll get the most out of your life. That's all I'm saying, I like to throw on my little bit of jazz when I'm walking, and I actually like to fill my house with music, right? When I fill my house with music, one of the things that it does is it helps you alleviate stress, you know? And I think that the more you alleviate stress, the longer, more quality of life you'll have. Period, you know? Um, and so you, I can't always not be around people who are always being stressed out. It's just not the case, you know. Have a family, have a wife and children, you know. So a lot of times they go through crisis and things that they're dealing with, and they're stressed out. So I'm not going to escape that. I'm not going to run from that, you know. I'm just here as a tool of support. So as a tool of support, one of the things that I've learned to do was to ease the environment for everybody, all around, you know, through relaxation, relaxing music, whether it's jazz, whether it's classical music, you know, whether it's dimming the lights, you know, it's just many tools that I use to help my family to cope with life, right? Because life is always going to bring stress. Life is always going to come at you in all different type of ways. And you got to be prepared for those different types of ways. You know, you got to understand that those ways are going to come no matter what, right? They're going to come, and as they come, what do? You just deal with it. As life leaves, you deal with it. It's part of the journey, you know? What kind of journey would you have if you didn't have cliffhangers? You know what I mean? If you didn't have high points and low points in your life. You know, there's one thing that I understand about me, and there will never be a obstacle that I don't believe I can overcome. Nothing. You know, never be an obstacle that I don't think I can overcome. You know, I'm not a easily give up type person. So since I'm not an easily give up type person, I'm always thinking of ways, okay, ahead of time in order to solve a problem that I know is coming my way or may come my way. I mean, that just comes with experience, obviously. But on top of just that alone, I think it's very, very important to understand that in life, you have to learn how to enjoy life in bad times and good times. And if you don't believe me, take a look at sometimes when you see people in poverty-stricken areas. They still can enjoy themselves. They still can smile and have a good time, you know. And somebody tried to tell me, well, a lot of times when people are in poverty and they're doing bad, they fall back on vices. Not everybody. Not everybody falls back on vices, you know? And if you want to say that, sometimes people with all the money in the world and everything to be grateful for, they fall on vices. So that's the one thing you have to understand and realize is that you can be happy during any times. Anytime you can be happy. You know, I have a course that I put out called 7 Steps to Happiness, right? And in that course, I teach you a couple of steps on just how to be happy, man. You know, a lot of people put out courses on how to make money, you know, and they think that's going to bring them happiness. How to have the best health in your life, and they think that's going to get you happy. And I think that overall, it's a combination of so much more when it comes to having a better life, right? Not only do you have to take steps every day to be happy, it's really good to have somebody to hold you accountable, right? To hold you accountable and say, hey, did you do this today? You know? Because a lot of times we get in our own head. We get in our own head, and as I told you guys before, nobody hits harder than me on me when it comes to me. Okay, so since I know that for a fact, I always need an accountability group, you know, whether it's just one or two people, a mentor, or somebody that holds me, my hand to the flame. Um, Usually that's my wife. She holds my hand to the flame, keeps me going, keeps me grounded, keeps me understanding that what's most important, right? But it could also be community. You know, I have one or two people that I just truly just talk to, vent to, let it out, and it keeps me understanding how well I have it in life. You know, and granted, I work for it, but just because you work for it doesn't mean you can't take it for granted. You know, and a lot of people that work for things forgot the journey that it had taken them to get there. They forgot the hard work. They allowed other people to diminish the amount of work that they put in to get where they needed to go. And I think that when you allow people to do that, um, you you take away your own power, right? You give away your own power, and I don't think that you should allow other people to just hand over your power like that. You got to learn how to be strong within yourself, you know, and just understand what it takes to have a better life, to live a little better, and to uh, understand the journey. It's ups and downs, goods and bad. All of these things are just part of life, man. You know, and you just got to take it for what it is, and learn to pull yourself out of whatever feelings and emotions you always get yourself into. You know. So anyway, that's it. I put about 15, 20 minutes in on the treadmill after my leg workout to loosen up, and now I'm gonna shut it down, call it a day. Take a shower, help out around the house. That's my job. My job is to help out around the house. All right, so I'm gonna get that done. And other than that, man, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. All right. Woo.